Okay, welcome back. And now for our second big question to follow up from our first big question, which is what is phenomenology? We'll take a few minutes to explore what we mean by phenomenological research. What is phenomenological research? Now, I draw from Max van Manen's chapter here to lay down some basic understandings of what phenomenological research is. These make up the general understandings. However, as we move through the course, we will build on these larger concepts by exploring specific strategies we can use to conduct phenomenological research. But first, let's take a look at the foundations. So, number one, phenomenological research is focused on human experience. That is a core foundational concept. It is important to understand that any experience that manifests itself in the human consciousness is a potential subject for phenomenological inquiry. Lived experience, as it is lived, is the subject the researcher reflects on. Number two, phenomenological research searches for essences. Phenomenology is about the unique and the idiosyncratic, the experience of a person. It also seeks to connect with the universal and the shared. By looking at the unique, the very specific, the particular, well, this opens up the significance of the experience in its shared or universal quality. And that can resonate for anyone sharing in that experience in the phenomenological reflection. And number three, phenomenological research is describing experiential meaning as it is lived through. So phenomenology attempts to describe and assign meaning or interpret lived experiences. It does not explain or attempt to arrive at meaning through the analysis of theories, cultural, critical, psychological, or situate meaning historically or politically. The meaning comes through description and interpretation that is rich and detailed of our everyday experiences as they are lived. Number four, according to Van Manen, phenomenological research employs human science methods. Now, the science in the term human science comes from the Latin scientia, to know. And it's not reflective of experimental and positivistic approaches, as we mentioned earlier. Those approaches associated with the natural sciences, the scientific method. It draws identifiable modes and practices to make known the explicit meaning and of human experience. So it draws on certain modes and practices that we will come to understand and identify and hopefully be able to use them ourselves. So it's a human science in that it seeks to understand, to know the meaning of human experience. That's what the focus of the study of human science is. This is in contrast with the natural sciences that by and large have as their subjects objects in nature, processes, things, entities that do not have human consciousness. And number five, phenomenological research is the practice of thoughtful attunement. I mentioned earlier, phenomenological research is a way of being. It's a way of situating yourself in relation to the world. It's characterized by a sensitivity and a mindful inquiring into the human condition. The everyday practical concerns of people who ask, what is it like to experience this? This requires the taking up of a thoughtful, sensitive stance in relation to who and what we are studying. And in doing so, we become more fully human as we inquire into the nuances, the myriad ways of being in this world. And finally, number six, phenomenological research relies on a special relationship with language, and language as that defining ability as human beings. Now, Manning calls this focus on language in phenomenological research as a poetizing activity. And in saying this, he seeks to capture the use of language to describe human experience in a manner that evokes, that stirs us, that resonates the particularities of human experience. So the reader of the research will come to recognize those essences, those universal qualities, and it'll make them say, yes, that's what that experience is like. Or, yeah, that's how it is for me. Or they may say, I recognize that. I understand what that must be like.